Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 10 German cruiser Hindenburg. She has 51,900 health, a top speed of 31.5 knots, 12 203mm guns, 16 torpedoes, a surface detect of 13.7 kilometers, and 95 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, improved main battery range, reduced the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, improved steering. For my commander, basic firing training, basic survivability, expert marksman, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment. We are on the map Islands of Ice, and this is sort of an answer to the Hindenburg game that I had on stream a couple days ago, or a couple weeks. I don't know. It's all a blur. You know, holiday season plus unreleased content that, you know what? You should expect to see content on the Perth today. If you're watching it when this goes live, the Perth should be available at least to view. I will be streaming, of course. This is the day I stream, and you probably will see a lot of the Perth. It's a Australian Aussies. If I'm messing this up, I apologize. I believe it is an Australian ship that the Brits either they had the blueprint allowed you to make, they not created, but they manufactured it, built it, you might say, and then sent it over. I don't know what. It's the Commonwealth, quote unquote. Are they going to do giant ship lines for New Zealand, Canada, British, India, Australia? I don't know. But the Perth is interesting. I'm not allowed to say what I think about it right now. There is going to be a video, not today, of course. This is the video for today. And it's the Hindenburg. Now, why is it the counter or the answer to my stream version that I played? Well, I picked up range because I died so quickly without it. It was embarrassing. It does seem that with extra range and better steering, you can be something in this world in tier 8, 9, and 10 for the cruisers. So that's why I have steering, that's why I have range, that's why I'm pushing forward. I'm trying to detect what the enemy is doing. This is probably a bad idea. I was going directly for the island. I wanted to cut off most of the enemy that could engage me. This is suicidal, you might say. But we're engaging an enemy Donskoy, and I've got to say that the Donskoy has to be one of the worst experiences that I had. It's so big. Usually, that's a good thing to hear, right? That's what she said, okay. But it really is so big. It's so tall in the water. Its steering is pathetic. I have not played with the steering mod yet. I intend to, of course. He's got pretty good angling. It could be better against me, but if he over-angles against me, he might over-angle into a broadside from someone else. So I'm trying to answer his angle by setting up and limiting the targets that can engage me just to him. I'm hoping that my team will just out-DPS his team. And it seems to be doing just exactly as predicted. He's out in the open. He has no strategy other than, let's kill Notser. I don't believe he's trying to just kill me, but I was the most far forward cruiser. It makes sense to engage it. I'm taking fire from my flank. I would prefer to move back. Now you can see how much range I actually have to work with. There is no reason to be this close, Notser. I can't help it. It's the destroyer in me. I need to push forward. I need to try and make something happen early on. Capture objectives, at least dominate it in some form. It's just what I like to do. I can't help it. He sets us on fire. We're going to be burning for 15 seconds, and he is on fire. Now, I have let off a shot. Probably not going to get there. If it does get there, you know what? We got lucky. No more fire. A single fire. Friendly has put out some smoke, but I don't think he meant it for me, of course. Why would he give it to me? I put out the fire. I don't have the luxury to sit on fire like I do with a battleship. I've got to put it out as soon as possible, and that's what we do. And I'm going to try and give ground, because I am vulnerable to HE fire. I'm going to try and put everyone else on my team in front of me. Now, should you try to do this in your game, you know, the lowest health target rotate to the back. I think you should. I think you should actually do this. You would be surprised how often the enemy will just ignore firing on you because you're 2 or 3 kilometers further than the other guy. Now, I don't do that. And for whatever reason, this guy's completely stopped. I don't know what he was doing. I don't want to run into him, of course. I use my heal, and I'm still giving ground. But I can. I still have plenty of room. Enemy Iowa is trying to actively use the island to block most of the shots, and we're doing pretty good damage against the Bismarck. If the Bismarck is not allowed to push forward, it loses all of its advantages. You are pretty much guaranteed that every single Bismarck is rocking the extended secondary range module. They've got their manual AA. Those are 2 big things that they sacrifice by having to play passive and keep distance from the enemy. They're a weaker platform than the North Carolina, for instance, in the same playstyle, the 15 to 20 kilometer range. So, multiple enemy battleships everywhere on this flank. This is the combat zone. What do you do as a cruiser in the combat zone? Well, you go to as far back as you can. You try and make sure that the friendly battleships are forward of your position, the destroyers are forward of their position, and they are just actively sending torpedoes to discourage the bow-on gameplay. Anything will help. And I'm like, who should I go after? Yamato or the Iowa? Well, the Yamato is out in the open. More people can probably fire on him. I would prefer to go after a target that might die quicker. So that's what I intend to do. Now, why are you only firing AP? Honestly, I should probably fire HE in this scenario. He's just not showing a lot of side. I am not hitting consistently the superstructure. If I hit anything that might ricochet the shot, it's not worth it. Ricochets basically void AP. That doesn't happen with HE, obviously. Look at all the ricochets. I should really be firing HE, seeking the fire, forcing out damage control. Maybe torpedoes can hit, flood, then follow up with fire. That's really the golden ticket to taking out these battleships that are bow on. Because you're not going to AP them unless you get super lucky and get a flank on. Which there is a possibility. You notice there are some friendly cruisers that pushed quickly through A and are on the eastern side of the map. These guys have no choice. They have to move forward. Otherwise, they're going to take flanking fire from my friendlies. It doesn't happen that often, of course. But when it does, you really like it. And the Moskva is probably the better target. I do have HE loaded, finally. Took me long enough. And we're looking for some fires. Now, not bad, 3,000. A fire too? Yeah. You should fire HE when it's a bow on target. Don't even think about it. So he puts out the fire. He's a one fire kind of guy. I like one fire kind of guys as an opponent. I would prefer that you're not a one fire kind of guy when you're on my team. But if you're on the enemy team, go ahead. Put the fire out. Please, do it quickly so I can relight you. And I think he's out of the immunity, so if we get lucky, yes, we get lucky. I think we got 2 fires there. Is it 2 fires? It is 2 fires. Oh, it's so glorious. When you get 2 fires on a target that just used their damage control, he's going to burn down. He's going to die to my HE. And the German HE isn't bad. It used to be terrible. But it's not bad now. It's pretty good. And the Iowa lets out one last charade. One shriek into the night. And he dies to my fire. He doesn't hit the North Carolina. The enemy Yamato is still in the center of the capture point. Bow on. So we're going to transition our HE. It is the superior choice when you're seeing a target exactly like this. He's not moving that fast. It's not that hard to hit from this range. And he seems to want to engage other targets. That's the thing that you gotta understand. Nobody really wants to fire at 15, 17, 20 kilometer range. No, Notser. Don't be so serious. Don't be so brash. We've got plenty of targets that are 10 kilometers out. perfectly broadside or bow on. And there's a fire. Good, good. Always check your surroundings. It's always good. It is good to confirm where your shots go, though. It takes a while, 15 kilometers. So you could grab a bite to eat, take a drink of a drink that you really enjoy, and then go back and check the target in. It appears that he's still on fire, though. Let me just double check the damage. Yes, the damage counter is still going up. It's only 1, though, I believe. So he could still put it out. He could still put it out. Although he's not doing it right now, Notser. No, he's not. And he's stuck in this. Oh, another fire. Good. I think he's got 3 fires on his ship. Yeah, he's still on fire. It feels so good to be able to do this kind of damage to a battleship that's bow on. It really does feel rewarding, and you need to punish them. And I might be punished for being a little bit too far forward now. There are enemies on the eastern flank of B, and oh, it's a Shimakaze. That is well within range, and we're going to fire on him. The friendly Kagero would love it if the enemy would not fire him on 21. Okay, okay. Propulsion gets knocked out. Looks like we might have set a fire. Looks like he's completely content allowing that fire to burn. And we're going to continue to punish him. I'm pretty good at hitting destroyers at range. I'm not going to lie. You got to walk it in. You can see he's trying to use his smoke. We are broadside. It is a mistake, but if I can take out a Shimakaze, my life is worth it. I'm here for you to take that guy out. You know, you got to be all in on your team. And, okay, enemy Eugen, you know what? You can stop right there. Near his max range. He's a tier 8. He can't extend his range like I can. So he's probably working at 17 to 18 kilometers. He really can't touch us anymore. Enemy Kutuzov is aggressively pushing the south side of the map. He's overextended. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships over here. Yeah, he's probably gonna die. He's probably gonna die. I switched to AP. He's broadside. And of course, just as I fire AP, he appears to be angling against the Große Kurfürst. I believe he wants to torpedo him. So I'm just going to try and get as close as possible, as quickly as possible. And yep, here are the torpedoes. He has 1 set per side. Keep that in mind. Ooh, that was very close to a Citadel Große Kurfürst. It might actually have been. And I would love to Citadel this guy. He is showing a little bit, just a little too high. Here comes some more big shots. Okay. Good job at Große Kurfürst. He's going to have a tough time avoiding these torpedoes. I'm going to be quite frank. He's just a little big. Just a wee big. Looks like one of the enemies are going after A, and this is a broadside. Oh, yeah. 7,000. Earn Confederate. Is the Große okay? I think he's okay. Enemy Fletcher, basically stationary, trying to engage friendlies on the target. The Kagero needs to be careful, or he's going to die. And I try and fire at the Fletcher. Fletcher's already dead. Game's already over. It was a pretty interesting, close combat scenario over by sea. We were able to come out on top as a team, and I'm happy about that. Earn Confederate, only 1 kill. 126,000 points of damage done. 1,840 base XP. Top on the team, 1865. Good job. Most of my damage pretty split between all the sources. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll join us for the Perth stream later today. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.